Hello and welcome to my latest video. I'm a charity rider, so I really believe in going on these cycle trips to charity. I did this one, it was Land's End John O'Groats, and I did it for some charity. I can't remember what it was. I think it was shelter, but it was raising money for shelter, right? And what you had to do is you had to raise 1,500 quid, right? So I raised 1,500 quid. Now the trip itself cost 1,499 quid. So that's £1 going to charity. So, okay, you're thinking, well, that's not very much. But the thing is, Lee Anderson says you can feed a family of 4 for £1 a week. So I think that's quite a good contribution, really. Anyway, I did the ride Land's End John O'Groats. I love doing that. I love doing charity rides. I did this one. Was it Ride London? I did that for Scope. I've got no idea what they do, but I love their jersey. I mean, was it Telescope? Was it Microscope? It was some bloody scope, I don't know. Anyway, it was a really nice jersey. It was like pink and green and that, and they had these feed stations that all the other charity riders, they weren't allowed to use. I mean, I saw some charity riders for like Oxfam and Save the Children, one of these other hunger charities, and I said, fuck off, mate, you're not having our food, that's our food, we're raising money for Scope. And it cost me, I don't know, I think it was like 100 quid to enter or so forth, but I raised 120 quid, so actually it cost me nothing to enter, and then I was able to give 20 quid to Scope, so I thought that was really good. I did another one, London to Amsterdam. It was, oh god, that was awful. I mean, it was raising money for homeless people, but we had to stay in these really shit places, and the food was terrible, and the backup support, I mean, you just couldn't get anything. I'm not surprised there's so many homeless people when you can't even raise any bloody money for them. I mean, that I quite enjoyed the cycling, but the rest of it was rubbish, and that raised, I think that raised about 40 quid or something. Then that paid for kind of like my food and my booze and so forth. But there was about 5 quid left over, which I was able to send to the charity. I'm doing this thing for going to Cuba, I think it is. It's for Save the Children. Oh, it's going to be wonderful because you're going to be riding around and you stop at these stalls, which is where all these little kids, they serve you like burgers and lemonade and stuff. But you're raising money for Save the Children, which I think is a really good idea. I mean, it's going to be a fortune. It's about 2.5 grand, something like that. But I've tapped up all my mates and they're giving me loads of contributions. I think it's 2,400, something like that, for the trip. So that leaves 100 quid for Save the Children. I mean, the food in these third world countries, it doesn't cost much money, does it? So I mean, I think 100 quid, that's going to go quite a long way. I've heard you can do this thing in Vietnam as well that I want to do. I know loads of people who've done it. Apparently you can raise loads of money there because people are desperate for you to go to Vietnam. I also wanted to do this charity thing when I went to Tenerife and laid on the beach for a week, and I said to all my mates, can you sponsor me for this? And they said, we're not sponsoring you for that. You're going to have to do some kind of cycle ride. You're going to have to suffer. And I said, well, why do I have to suffer? Why can't I enjoy myself? Because I really enjoy the cycling. So I'm going to do London to Brighton for the heart people. Is it the heart people or is it the lungs people? I don't know. It's one of them anyway. And you get to ride up Ditchling Beacon and you see all these people dying on the fucking hill because it's so steep and having heart attacks and all that. But at least you're raising money for British Heart Foundation. So I think that's a really good idea myself. I love raising money for charity. My videos, right, they raise money for charity. Money goes to a food bank. You may not know that, but when you watch the adverts and you see all the adverts for Aldi and M&S food and Lidl food and Waitrose food and Ocado and Deliveroo and Just Eats and stuff like that, you should know that the money that all of those adverts is raising is going to the food bank, which I think is a really good thing. I love charity rides. I think everybody should do charity rides. I was going to do this one raising money for unemployed people. Yeah, you're unemployed, aren't you? What about you sponsoring me? What do you mean you haven't got any money? It's only like 30p a mile and I'm going to go 1,000 miles. That's hardly going to cost you anything. You can pay that out of your benefits. Come on, it's for charity. What's the matter with you? I was doing Hell of the Ashdown a couple of years ago. 30 quid it cost to enter and that was for charity. You're having a laugh? I ain't paying that. I'm a charity rider. Other people pay me to ride. I don't pay. I think you should sponsor me. I'm going to do this ride next week. I'll put all the details on my Just Giving page and then you get a special email saying big thanks for it and all the money. I mean, I know Just Giving takes a bit of money, but I mean, the greasy wheel that gathers no moss, doesn't it? You know what I mean? You've got to grease the wheel a bit. So if you grease my wheel, my new zip wheels, which I was able to get because I raised a bit more money for charity, but I didn't have to give it all to the charity because Just Giving said I could keep a bit to get some new zip wheels. If you sponsor me, I'll send you your details and I'll send you a special message and an email of thanks and so on and so forth. I love raising money for charity. You should do it too, I think.